Hello, everyone, and welcome to the debut of the Channel Marketplace. I'm Larry Walsh of the 2112 Group. As many of you may know, the 2112 Group is a consulting firm. We specialize in channel research, strategy, and intelligence services, and we have been deeply involved in the development of the Channel Marketplace. Before we get into what the Channel Marketplace is, and I want to reserve the honor of explaining what it is to the person who actually conceived of all this, I want to just share with you a couple of reasons why we're here talking about this. We created, the companies you're going to hear from today, we created the Channel Marketplace because we saw the need for creating a point of convenience for channel professionals that were looking for the services and the products that they needed to run their programs better. We're here to build awareness, so the marketplace will be a point of information dissemination and research for technology companies around the world. It's also a place where we can be helpful in providing guidance and resources and assistance in identifying needs for the different services that are available. And we're also here to help manage expectations. So the 2112 Group has been working on marketplaces for several years, and we've identified that there's been a shift in the way that not only vendors sell, but also consumers want to buy. We look at this as that less commoditized, less complex products can go into more automated channels like marketplaces. More complex services and products need to be more hands-on and value-add. The Channel Marketplace is designed to actually fall in the middle of that. It's a hybrid marketplace. It is both informational as well as human assisted. We are here to provide the type of services where channel professionals can work with best of breed corporate companies that provide services, software, technologies that automate and improve the productivity and the outcomes of channels. This is about providing access to resources, providing expert guidance, giving access to proven solutions, providing professional support, and also giving strategic validation. So the Channel Marketplace is, what we're going to show you today is the beginnings of a journey in which we are going to continuously improve the availability of resources through the marketplace to better the outcomes for the entire channel and to give better value to all of our respective customers. With that, I'd like to start by letting our members introduce themselves. So first of all, we've got Phil Gowing of B Channels introduce himself.
Oh, hi there. So as Larry's kindly introduced, I'm Phil Gowing. I'm the CEO of B Channels. I think one of the core propositions into Channel Marketplace for us is actually twofold. One is we're bringing partner segmentation, and globally we have the largest partner database in the market based around partner capabilities, which we feel has huge value. And secondly, our digital marketing package catalog is about giving partners a fast start for marketing campaigns. And again, it's based around partners' marketing capabilities.
Hi, I'm Gina Vitale-Brooks, and I'm the president and founder of Is Inspired. As a channel tech stack focused system integrator, we love to solve the toughest channel infrastructure problems, and we're excited to be able to do that as part of the Channel Marketplace.
Hi, I'm Joel Montgomery. I'm the CEO at One Affinity. I'm dialing in from Sydney, which is why it seems nice and dark at the moment. We're specialists in through channel marketing, so we're really looking forward to working on the Channel Marketplace with our through channel marketing offering.
Hey everyone, this is Claudio Ayub from Perks Worldwide. We are the incentives automation solution out there in the top incentive experts, and we're very happy to be at the marketplace.
Hi, I'm Keith Collins, and I'm the CEO of Signals, and we design, develop, integrate web applications and business workflow automation tools. They're basically designed to help increase sales, channel productivity, improve sales enablement, and overall to enhance customer experience. And we're delighted to be part of the team with Channel Marketplace.
My name is Heather K. Margolis. Some of you may know me as the CEO and founder of Channel Maven. My new company, Spark Your Channel, is actually in the marketplace, and we are the only through channel marketing automation tool where partners can actually customize vendors' videos, webinars, and podcasts, in addition to PDFs, PowerPoints, and emails.
Hey guys, my name is Mike Riley. I'm the founder and CEO of Vartopia. Vartopia is the #1 rated deal registration and channel pipeline management solution for the technology industry. The platform is used by over 25,000 reseller partners worldwide. We process tens of thousands of transactions monthly for a number of the most well-known brands in our industry. And we are honored to be part of the marketplace. Nice to see everyone today.
Hey, and my name is James Hodgkinson. I'm the CEO of Web Infinity. Web Infinity provides partner portal and partner peer experience technology in the marketplace. And I'm very excited to be here today working with all these great companies to talk to you about what we've put together. I'm actually going to take you through a little bit more of the journey now and share the marketplace and what we're launching today with you in more detail. So I'm going to just take over the screen share to do this. So just bear with me 1 second.
While James is doing that, I'll just remind everyone that we will be answering questions at the end of the presentation. So if you have questions, you please enter them at any time while we're going through the presentation, and we'll get to them when we're through.
So why are we here? So I've worked in this arena, like many of the people on this call, for close to 20 years. We started off building all kinds of PRM and web applications for a lot of big software companies. But the nature of this problem has changed significantly over the past few years, really to do with the rise of software as a service and best of breed solutions. It's a pretty complex arena out there today. We've got thousands, if not even in PRM, hundreds of applications that are now being applied to the challenge of channel automation, not to mention all the services, skills, and financial fulfillment aspects that go along with it. So there's a growing consensus and realization that the only way to really construct the modern architecture is to find the best tools and people for the job, which works incredibly well when it's a simple plug and play kind of service. But when it comes to channel and the complexities that we all face, it's not quite so easy. And traditionally, the answer in the market has been one of two things: either try and find an all-in-one type of solution with everything you need from one company, which is extremely challenging, or try and build something yourself, put this stack together on your own, work with different vendors in different projects, try to integrate it all, etc. And again, that's not for the faint-hearted. So we saw this trend at Web Infinity coming a few years back and started to think a little bit differently about trying to come up with something that would embrace this best of breed framework and allow everyone to play to their strengths in a way that's truly connected and integrated versus just a free-for-all as it is today. And the buyer problem that we saw, and this becomes very real and I'm sure relevant to many of you here on the call today, is it's an overload of information. There's 150 companies, as I mentioned, who are providing dedicated PRM technology, let alone the rest of the technology that starts to become very relevant to PRM, major CRM systems, help desk tools, etc. And the technology itself is not enough. Without the strategic execution, without the application of that technology, without the knowledge and experience of how to put together channel programs, it's not really going to deliver. And we see this again and again with, despite the significant spend in channel technologies, there's almost nobody happy. 70+% people want to move from their current vendor. Nobody really says, wow, I got this all worked out. My partner experience is world-class and everything works well together. And if you're on the other end of this trying to buy from this marketplace, it's very confusing. You've got all kinds of companies coming at you with similarly different, same propositions, but with different strengths and weaknesses, multiple people in different categories, all of them telling you they have something better than the next guy. It's a pretty confusing scenario. So our goal with the marketplace is to try to create the filter and the lens and curate the solutions into the channel strategy that you are trying to follow for your business, to work with you as a trusted advisor in this journey, not trying to sell you technology or services for the sake of making a few bucks. And really, there's two classifications of problems we're looking to solve for in the market. The first is the end-to-end partnership on a strategy that can be executed over time, but recognizing quick wins are really important in today's market. We need to move at the speed of the business and deliver solutions in the now whilst thinking about the next and the future. So we want to be really partners in that journey with you, providing a dedicated consultant-led approach towards executing an end-to-end PRM strategy, working with the realities of what you have today and filling the gaps for what you might need in the future. But we also are here to address the high priority short-term needs and requirements when it comes to certain specialist categories of technology. So if you're out there today saying, how do I truly move quickly on getting an incentives program worked out, or a new partner marketing strategy that has to get results in the next quarter, or some specialist skills or services that I'm missing today, that's also important. And in both scenarios, we want to curate and organize that conversation. And you'll hear more about our concierge, our advisory service that we're launching today. But instead of having to deal then with the unstructured and unfiltered conversations with all these different vendors, they'll be curated and organized for you. And the marketplace itself has had a lot of work done up before we got to this stage. There's integration between these partners from both services, technology, and delivery perspective. There's a common mentality and shared vision of what we're trying to do in the market, with everyone sticking within the boundaries of their specialist areas. So instead of going a mile wide and an inch deep, you can truly go a mile deep and a mile wide with the specialist partners you need in this marketplace to deliver true success.
Yep.
I have so much respect for the people on the call with me today. I spend a lot of time with all these different individuals in different scenarios, in some cases working together for multiple years. And this is just an opportunity to put it all together and bring the best of these people, these technologies, and these companies to you in an organized, structured manner. So it's not just about who's on the call today, it's also who's going to be out there in the future. We're looking to curate and organize new technologies. We're also looking to work with our client community to fill the gaps in the marketplace that probably exist today. And things are changing all the time, new innovation, new ideas. We plan to embrace and work with that. We're a very open, collaborative team here. There's so much challenge to be solved in channel. This is about cooperation and collaboration, not competing with each other. So what you will find today, if you go to this new brand and website that is launching on this webinar, channelmarketplace.com, is the informational part of what we've been working on and a structured approach to helping you navigate through these challenges moving forward. And I'm just going to take a few minutes to show you what we're releasing today and the plan for evolution in the future. So if you go to the website, you'll see it's divided into certain categories where we've tried to organize the different partners and organizations in the marketplace together. So just highlighting the homepage to begin with, you'll see the immediate focus is on the key areas of information on the site. People are a big part of this, the experts, the individuals on this call today and their respective teams. We're just the representatives for whole teams of people who are really out there driving success for customers every day. The companies behind those people, but more importantly, the solutions they provide and how they apply to the different aspects of the overall channel engagement challenge. So let's just dig in on a couple of these areas so I can highlight what we've put together for you. Starting with the experts, the human aspect of this is critical, and we've curated, I think, a real who's who of knowledge and put them all together, and they're all talking together. That's really important, so you can connect with us as a team. And again, this is organized by areas of expertise. We've tried to address the most important aspects. So if your priority right now is to get advice on revenue generation and incentives strategy, we have a filter and a team of people here who are ready to have the right conversations with you at the right time. And again, it's also curating the knowledge and giving you access to thought leadership, not just connected to the companies, but to the people. So if you're looking for original points of view or content that's been generated by our members, that's all available to you through the marketplace and connected into the experts area of the site. And then there's the companies behind these individuals, the members that are on this call today and the ones we'll curate in the future. And again, it's organized by the different aspects of the challenge. If you're starting with strategy, we've got great partners in here who can start to work out what you should be doing before you start investing in technology. But when it comes to the execution, we've got everything covered for you as well here. We have a situation where we can give you access to world-class partners, companies like Is Inspired, who I've worked with for many years, who can truly help you understand the infrastructure, your infrastructure as it stands today, and what to do moving forward in terms of the right decisions to make at the right time to put it all together in a way which is going to work in terms of the now and the next. And that's really critical and only comes through deep experience. But each partner is bringing to this several solutions. And those solutions together comprise a really strong end-to-end channel engagement framework. And again, if we just highlight some of the solutions, let's take a look at partner marketing, for example. you'll see there's a range of companies, but they are curated to collaborate in different areas of specialist activity. So if it comes to something like planning your execution on marketing, we're partnering with tools like Successful Channels, and Gary Morris has deep experience in that area. The development of custom tools and solutions at companies like Signals, who we've begun to see tremendous success working in partnership with. And then brand new technologies such as Spark, which Heather mentioned, has just recently launched in the market and is innovating in a way which is moving a generation ahead of some of the legacy through partner marketing automation tools. As the marketplace, we can embrace that innovation because we're not competing at that level with each other. So it's really important for us to be able to bring new technologies, new ideas, and new innovation to you at the speed of the business as it evolves. Not forcing you to work with very rigid tools or vendors who are lacking in certain areas. And the final thing I'd like to highlight in terms of content is the thought leadership and the opinions and the learning. This is all out there on the internet today. You can subscribe to people's blogs, you can research different companies, but the channel marketplace is bringing it all together. You'll find a lot of original blogging and new points of view and opinions that will help you understand some of the perspectives of best of breed. But there's also an extensive resource library, which is curating, again, content that is not just informational from the point of view of the solutions, but also research trends, white papers, opinion pieces. All of this is available to you publicly, and as we engage more closely with our client community, there's a lot of content that we'll be sharing as part of the ongoing consultancy engagements. So again, this is the default place to come and find very rich, original, high impact content to do with the most knowledgeable organizations in the channel space today. And that will include inputs from guests and other opinions from the wider community that we're supporting. And the final aspect of the marketplace is what to do next. We've put a lot of time and investment into a concierge-driven mindset, which enables us to represent the needs and to consult with you on your requirements in a way which is neutral to the interests or the current priorities of any one of the members. We have an independent concierge who works for and through the marketplace only. That is independent, as I said, of any of the partner organizations. And this is a consultancy-led approach that says the first place to start is here. Don't worry about what technology should you be buying, what your strategy be. If you're out there right now thinking there needs to be a better way of addressing getting success in the channel automation and ROI from technology, this is a new way to begin that conversation. And we would encourage you to try it and learn about a different approach to considering your go-forward channel strategy challenges. And with that, I'm going to hand back to Larry, who's going to give you a little bit more color on the concierge and how it's going to work moving forward.
Thanks, James. Yeah, I think this is really the important point. We hear so much about artificial intelligence. We really want to differentiate the channel marketplace's value with human intelligence. The concierge service is designed to be that human interaction that can help rationalize and make sense of channel needs. Through the concierge service, the requests that come in will not only address what a vendor may be looking for in terms of a specific service or solving for a specific need, but will also help guide the decision-making process and expose channel professionals to the different types of services that are available that complement each other to enhance the value of their investments in channel automation and channel management and channel resources. And it really is that we believe the concierge service will be the true differentiator in being able to provide real needs, real solutions in a timely manner with true human-driven intelligence. And really couldn't be more excited about this as one of the key feature that will make the channel marketplace work on behalf of the customers more so than just search by Google. But I want to just say that this isn't just us talking about this. We've as James said, this has been a collaborative effort, and I want to introduce somebody who's been working with us on the side, helping guide our decision making. It's Pete Peterson. Oh, excuse me. Pete Peterson, who many of you already know, is a seasoned channel professional and has been a channel chief at several organizations. And Pete, I'm going to turn it over to you to lead a discussion of some of our members about what the channel marketplace is and how it's going to work going forward.
Yeah, thanks, Larry. I appreciate the warm invite. And I guess before I get started, I'll tell you a little bit about me for those that I haven't had a chance to meet yet. So I have been in and around the channel for over 25 plus years of my 35-year career. I spent a lot of time in distribution at one of the larger global distributors, working with channel chiefs literally day in and day out. I also spent some time as a channel chief with two the larger OEMs, one in the high-end networking space and one in the print copier space. And most recently, I've been doing some business consulting and advisory work. So, when I was asked to join, it was, this, I would call it this, this process. I was excited for a lot of reasons. One, I think I've worked with or worked, certainly have received bids and proposals, I think, from mostly everyone on the panel. So I think I have a keen understanding of what the needs are of our channel chiefs. And, at the end of the day, it's around driving efficiencies, driving effectiveness, and ultimately driving a stronger, more positive partner experience. And so I think, from my perspective, I think this is kind of the dawn of a new era where you see companies that are more collaborative, working closer together to ultimately achieve that goal. So I'm really excited about it, certainly excited to be a part of it. And with that, I'm going to start the other panel. So I think most of them have already introduced themselves, so we'll forego that. But we'll start with Phil. Could you tell me, or this is a question I guess for the entire panel, but we'll start with Phil. Talk about why your company joined the marketplace, and Phil, can you get us started?
Yeah, so I think why I joined really was I've been working on the alliances, similar to looking at the way James highlighted, for a number of years now, but most of those are one-to-one alliances, and you get very mixed success. You put a lot of effort in there, and sometimes you really don't really get the rewards for those effort. And really what the missing ingredient was to bring the group of like-minded CEOs together. And I think this is something that has been quite exciting, that's building over the last 6 months and actually getting to a true global offering. And I think that's the big difference. We do see alliances at regional levels, but our ability to deliver this global, I think, is incredibly powerful. And hopefully, I think from my perspective, it's more than a facade of some brands on a page, which this could be easily perceived as. I think the thought process that we've gone into this really does deliver something quite compelling from a value proposition. So I'm, very, very excited to be part of it.
Awesome. Heather, same question.
I would say that being a brand new technology and really focusing on demand gen, that's what my experience is, my team's experience is, doesn't incorporate a lot of the other things that vendors will need, but we want to be able to do what we do incredibly well. So working with all of these other best-in-class companies that do incentives and MDF and PRM and outbound communications and strategy is really exciting for us to be able to be part of a larger consortium, all who are best in class in what they do.
Heather, why don't you, if you could for us, can you tell us a little bit about, what brought Spark into the fold, though? I mean, talking about working with all this, but do you find that your customers prior to this were dealing with too much information, and that's part of the reason why you came into the marketplace?
I think the biggest challenge was we would be having these great brainstorm conversations, which we love. And when we would talk about through partner demand gen, there were several steps that need to happen within the evolution of a channel that hadn't happened yet. So again, great brainstorm conversations, really love making the connection, but then we would send them off to someone who could help them build their channel program or help them with incentives and MDF or help them sort of solidify who their partners were in route to market. And then we would hear from them again a month or two later. So this just brings into the fold that conversation first happens with a concierge who understands start to finish how a channel needs to evolve and grow and be successful. And then when we have that conversation, they have those building blocks in place.
Yeah. Pete, I'm going to turn back over to you.
Yeah, thank you. I apologize for that. So Joel, can you kind of close it out here on the first question?
Yeah, Pete, we started the journey in through channel marketing 7 years ago, and at that point, we became believers of the importance of focusing and specializing on one thing. So it was about a year ago when we decided that we needed to look for a PRM specialist partner to work with. And I didn't realize how hard it was going to be to find the credible specialist that all the clients loved working with. And so we talked to a lot of people, and I went through a process, and I finally found James. And I remember the first call with James, talking to him about how do we get our technologies working better together, making it easier for some customers. And I thought I had the brilliant concept, and James said, oh yeah, I've been thinking about that for a while. I think we should pull together a marketplace. Here's what it looks like. And we jumped at it because I think, you know, in the channel software space where there's 140 plus players, we're still an industry that needs to mature. And I want to be part of helping that accelerate. So I think the channel marketplace is a really good way to accelerate this market.
Thanks, Joe. So Phil, next question. What is the current state of the channel management automation, and why is it hard for channel professionals to find solutions? And how do you feel the marketplace should help in that regard?
I think Joel just made a very good point. I think the Forrester's numbers, which is 140 companies offering different products and services out there at the moment, as claiming to be channel organizations. And if you are sitting there as a channel chief today, you are being bombarded with, what's the word, the solution for solving their challenges. And I think the channel marketplace, I think hopefully we're seeing from the approach, the concierge and the website here is taking a mature, rational approach. You know, it's talking about how do we bring complementary solutions together. So it's about really genuinely playing to our strengths and really promoting this end-to-end solution, which is then really focused about the customer's needs. And you know, what we're hopefully seeing today, and you know, we're very excited. I think the channel marketplace is certainly something that can really succeed in delivering on that aim.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. Heather, maybe you can double click on that. So how do you think the channel marketplace will help expand channel professionals' understanding of what's available to them? Joe kind of touched on it a bit with the 140 different offerings, and certainly Phil did, but maybe you can double click on that for us.
Absolutely. I think it's really important for us to focus on what we do well. And also it's a safe space for all of us to have conversations with our vendor clients and know that, there could be overlap. One Affinity and Spark in some respects overlap. B channels and Spark in some respects overlap. But there's this ethical foundation and mutual respect of our businesses and what works and what doesn't and what we do best. If someone comes to me and needs support, is on the Spark platform and needs concierge support in EMEA or in Australia or in APJ, I know who to go to. And I know that the mutual respect of our businesses and the ongoing value that we are committing to these vendors. So I came out of a vendor. I know what it was like to be called from 4 different companies who all claim to be the best. And certainly there is a need for us to work with our clients in such a way that they know what their options are and can make the decisions on their own. But at the same time, it's nice to know that this is a place where they're going to get information that is best for them. If Spark isn't what's best for them, I will tell them that. If One Affinity isn't what's best for them, we're having a joint conversation and we're having this ongoing relationship with our vendor clients. We want them to be successful.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think that comment that James made earlier about the trusted advisor role becomes even more important in this new ecosystem. So Joe, the 3 panelists operate companies in obviously different parts of the world. So does the channel marketplace reflect the global nature of the channel operations and go-to-market strategies? Could you maybe talk a little bit about that?
Sure, yeah. I mean, the beauty of being global is time zone related, and this time the Aussies drew the short straw, but next time I'll make sure it's on daytime Aussie time. But look, I don't think it really matters whether we're talking about US or Canada or in Europe, it's the UK, France, or even down in Asia, if we're talking about Australia or Singapore, the challenges seem to be the same. When we're talking to vendors, when we're talking to partners, there's always that theme of being time poor. And there's also quite a consistent theme where there's a lack of sharing, whether it's even within the same vendor and different teams, local and regional, whether it's cross vendor or even cross supplier. I think what we're dealing with is a challenge that's definitely global. The pain points are consistent, and I think it's up to us as suppliers to step up and start sharing common practices, to develop a level of standardization across our platforms, and to make sure it's really easy to integrate, so we're not just leaving it to the vendors and the partners to solve themselves.
That's great. Thanks, Joel. So guys, last question. So what's the one takeaway that you would say from a value perspective that the channel marketplace will offer to our customers? So just what's the, Phil, we'll start with you, but what's the one key takeaway you would say?
I would say it's the one-stop shop. It's the ability to go to one place and feel there's a confidence that you have that independent concierge, and then to really look at sort of best-in-class vendors across the world that can meet your needs. So one-stop shop would be my one main value.
All right, Heather?
I would reiterate that a bit with efficiency. So a ton of work has gone into this. This is not the first time these companies are on the phone together. We have all learned about each other's technologies. We have all played around with integrating technologies already. We have talked about whose services fit where and when. So if you are on the phone with one of our organizations directly, we're still going to refer back into the marketplace and say, this is a great, here, I know Phil is going to be able to help you here. I know Claudio is going to be able to help you here. So there has been a lot of mind share that has gone into this and a lot of time and effort.
Thanks, Heather. Joel, close us out.
Well, I think right now, the huge benefit of the marketplace is it becomes that central point, like everyone's talking about, to make sense of the market and to understand what options are available. The part that I'm really excited about is over time, I think we're going to get more sophisticated as we start to work out the integration points between the tech stacks, as we start to standardize practices and share those across the members. And I think ultimately we'll know when we're winning, when the effort required from vendors and partners is reduced, and the impact of channel marketing solutions improves. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. I think you summed it up well. I tend to agree with you. The words I've used is this is almost like an emerging ecosystem. It's typically, which most ecosystems start with collaboration, and certainly we're here today to do that. But I really think that we're on the cusp of an emerging ecosystem. So I want to thank you, Phil, thank you, Heather, and thank you, Joel, for participating. And Larry, with that, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, thank you, Pete. Appreciate it, and appreciate all the panelists contributing their thoughts. Before we get to the Q&A, I did want to just spend a little bit of time talking about our vision. As I said before, this isn't a static effort. We are fully invested in building upon the channel marketplace and in making it a game-changing journey. We are 10 companies. We are working together. We are not just sharing information and helping our respective customers get better solutions, but we're also ideating new solutions. We're also thinking about what comes next. And over the next several months, we're going to continue to build out the marketplace. We will add more features and more automation. We're going to make the marketplace even easier and more robust than it is today. We'll continue to look in ways to expand the solutions and services portfolio. We know that we don't solve all the issues, but we are dedicated to making sure that we can. And we are actively looking to see where we can fill in gaps that make sense, not just for the marketplace, but for our customers. We are going to continue to evolve the services to provide professional services in the marketplace. things that will be beneficial to all the companies that engage, helping to drive better outcomes and better behaviors. And of course, our ultimate goal is to become the default resource for channel automations and operation support. Even if people who come to the marketplace aren't transacting through it, if they find information and resources there that help them, then we've accomplished the baseline of our mission. And that's really what this is all about, is helping to make our community, better performing and optimized. Joel, any other thoughts before we go into the Q&A? I'm sorry, Joel, James.
No, I just reiterate what you said. This is a journey, and it starts today. I mean, there's been a lot of work put in to get to this point, but the other partner in this journey is the community, the channel leaders and innovators and people who have lived and breathed these scenarios daily. We're here to say, look, there's a different way. There's a different way to think about the problem, and moving it more away from the selling and the vendor mentality to partnering in success through automation and improve strategic execution on channel strategy. That's really what we're here to do. And I think we have put together at the start the best group to begin this journey with you guys. So we're looking forward to seeing what happens from here. Thank you for taking the time.
Now, some of you may have seen me turn my head. It's because I can see everybody who's signed into the webinar. I know many of you have questions, and if you would like to ask them, please submit your questions through the Q&A button. Before we start getting into the questions that we do have, I do want to invite Gary Morris of Successful Channels to introduce himself. You had some audio issues at the beginning, so Gary, can you just take a moment for yourself?
Sure, Larry, thank you. Gary Morris, Successful Channels. We provide partner channel manager tools for partner business planning, scorecarding, marketing planning, and QBR management that are seamlessly integrated to your PRM and your CRM systems.
Very good. Gary, since we have you, why don't we start off with a question for you. As you said, one of the specialties you have is developing partner scorecards. How does the marketplace facilitate the journey towards getting to a scorecard, and how does it enhance the complementary offerings that are offered through the marketplace?
Well, first, maybe to reiterate what some of the panelists said, I think that the concierge service really does. We've gone out of our way to be as unbiased and partner executive focused as possible, channel executive focused as possible, to provide an unbiased consultative service to help guide that process. Specifically, scorecarding we've evolved what scorecarding is into, from what has historically been a partner profiling exercise, into a full partner life stage management process where you can assess your partners versus a best practice, and then build a custom action plan, and then include that in your QBR process. So not only does your individual partner ecosystem have a journey, but I also think the nice thing about the marketplace is that we're there for the channel journey. There are a subset of these vendors that are perfectly well suited for emerging channels, and there's also a broader set of more sophisticated tools that are perfectly well suited for a more sophisticated channel.
Fantastic. We do have a question, another question. I'll take this one. Somebody's asking, that they'd like to understand the approach and the cost of accessing the service. And this is another key differentiator of the channel marketplace. It doesn't cost the channel professional anything to engage with it. The member organizations are the one that are supporting the marketplace. The services that are offered today through the marketplace are complementary. It's here to help support and connect you with the right people and resources that you need. And that's part of the vision, is because we're here to try to take the confusion out of understanding what the true needs or true solutions are to real world problems, and get you to a resolution faster. Okay, question, Gina. One of talking about Gina from Vitaly Brooks from Is Inspired, talking about getting to a better resolution faster. One of the things that you bring to the marketplace is the ability to integrate multi-vendor, multi-system solutions. Do you find that the vendors today and the channel pros today struggle with being able to not just implement but integrate these tools?
Yeah, we do. It's there's so many underlying components that are important in the overall channel infrastructure. And so what we find is it's not just purchasing the tool, but it's how to make that tool work within your broader infrastructure, and then how to make them work effectively together. So for instance, if you have a portal, how do you then make sure that your incentive solution works along the full journey for a marketing professional in a seamless way, and that the data all supports each other and the processes all support each other. And so it's a challenge, especially when you have existing infrastructure that you're building into. How do you leverage that to support your new tools into a seamless experience for your partners? And so that's we love to solve those problems. That's really what we live for.
Very good. Another question we have is how truly international are the members of the channel marketplace? Can we truly address the needs on a global scale and by region? And James, I'll ask you to jump in on this as well, but I will say that we all have experience and capabilities of working globally and internationally. The channel is a global entity that operates regionally and locally. And I think one of the things that's great about the marketplace is because we have companies that are based in different parts of the world, we are able to collaborate and tie into each other's resources. But James, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think because it always comes down to two aspects. I mean, one is, have we got technologies that can work from a global perspective, languages, currency variations, etc.? And resoundingly, the answer is yes. But it's much more than that. It's differences in execution, how programs work differently, and also enablement of local people. I mean, my company, my team came out of Europe. I know a lot of people, in this marketplace who understand the global challenges very well. And it's not just about delivery, it's speed of execution. People needing autonomy to do things in their region with the tools that they need to use without going rogue, without creating a problem for the corporate parent. And again, it's about applying tactical solutions to regional problems whilst looking at the bigger picture. And I think I've worked successfully with many of the people on this call to achieve that the balance between those two things, but it's hard to find it on the buyer side unless you really have built these kinds of relationships. So I think we bring that as a collective in a way that enables the best of the balance between those two aspects.
Right. Another question we got is, who is the ideal customer or user of the channel marketplace? It is a combination of vendors, distributors mostly. Ideally, we can service a number of different types of customers. And although we are primarily focused on technology vendors, it doesn't mean that we don't support other types of companies through our various products and services. But Mike Riley of Vartopia, I want to ask you to chime in, being a deal registration specialist. Do you find that, or do you think that this marketplace will open up opportunities to expose things like deal registration to new types of users?
Yeah, absolutely. Our business has grown significantly. I mean, we have a lot of core customers, or customers in the kind of the core infrastructure space, but a lot of SaaS companies, a lot of what you would consider non-traditional IT companies are starting to engage us, because ultimately deal registration historically was more about like partner protection, right? And the prevention of channel conflict. It's really evolved into a very effective manner in which to manage your indirect sales pipeline. And to make that effective and to get the visibility that you need as a company, it takes a combination of a well-designed program and a really effective solution that's easy for partners to use and that seamlessly integrates into your CRM system. So you're starting to see these types of technologies being adopted by a much broader range of companies than your traditional, hardware or just standard ISVs. And that's one of the big reasons why we're so psyched to be part of this marketplace. I think I can reiterate the same thing that the other panelists have said. it's really confusing. And talking to our customers, they get this information overload. So being able to come to one place where they can get really good, accurate information, I think is going to be a huge benefit to our industry.
Yeah. You know, another question came up about, you know, do we envision bringing more specialists into the marketplace? And I think you're going to see an expansion of the different types of companies as well as the different types of offerings. One of the things that we talk about is maintaining relevancy. Are we solving the customer's needs? And as we identify the needs for more and diverse needs of our respective customers, our mutual customers, we will be looking for members that will solve that. You know, I think one of the things that Mike said about, you know, an extension of sales enablement and sales management is relevant. And I want to ask Keith Collins of Signals, what do you find to be the challenges that come up when developing sales applications, and how do you think the marketplace will help with solve that for the customer?
Well, when we come across a problem or a challenge, the business challenge that's given to us by a client, the first thing to do is to really get under the hood and find out what the real objective is, and make sure that the clients really understood what the top priority is. Because the way to go about this is always to start with the simplest solution. You need to create a minimum viable product or a solution that gets out there as quickly as possible, starts to gain credibility for the business, starts to get user adoption as quickly as possible. If you can measure ROI, that's critical too. Only then you start to iterate this solution, and then you base your next round of development around the feedback and the objectives, which invariably change. We're in such a fast-moving world. It's about agility, and it's about staying on top of the business requirement, and not losing sight of the business objective that you were given in the first place.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Everyone, I know, you know, we've been talking for a while, and you know, we do have time for a few more questions if anybody has any. And I do want to invite our good friend from Perks, Claudio, to, you know, tell us a little bit about, you know, why Perks got into the marketplace. You know, what was the driving consideration for a specialist that deals in rebate management, incentives management?
So, you know, as a leading incentives automation company, when we looked at the marketplace concept, right, it's a marketplace of software solutions. It's a marketplace of managed services solutions and fulfillment services solutions. So it made total sense to us that, as again, a leading incentive automation vendor, that we would make our solutions available even to individuals who might want to do this themselves, right? And I'm talking about different business segments. You know, we're widely recognized in the IT telco space, and most of us enjoy a number of customers in that area, but definitely in the industrial manufacturing space, in the brokerage space, there's a number of opportunities for, and I again don't want to call it really a do-it-yourselfer, but for somebody to come into the marketplace, identify the type of solutions that they're looking for, and if it is incentives, they can actually, you know, buy that solution right there. Remember, buyers have changed, and buyers in large quantities, right? The new digital buyer, if you will, is more likely to be a lot more comfortable buying in a marketplace than, you know, going through all of the different suppliers of different incentives platforms. So to us, it made immediate sense. We're committed to it, and we're very happy to have the group of professionals that are on the call today.
So just a couple more minutes, and another question we have is, how does the marketplace, and I'm going to ask everyone to chime in who has an answer, you know, how do we see the marketplace overcoming language and cultural barriers around the world? You know, and it's an interesting question because, as we said, everyone in the marketplace has operated on a global level, you know, almost, you know, continuously, and it is a challenge. So anyone want to take a stab at the answer?
Maybe I can help
Larry,
here.
this is Heather.
I'll go on, Heather. You
I'll
go.
jump in on behalf of Phil. I was about to toot your horn, Phil.
Go on.
You know, years have gone on where Channel Maven, my original company who is not in the marketplace, and B Channels have partnered together because B Channels is the best in their regions and local languages. They have a bunch of different folks in the different regions that can speak local languages and understand the cultural norms. I think that's no different. And if anything, it's expanded. So when it comes to now Spark Your Channel, my software company, we're looking to B Channels. We're looking to One Affinity. We're looking to these and Signals and global companies to better understand how we can do right by the vendors and the partners in those regions and make sure that we're not just saying, yes, of course we can be global. We actually go to them and say, this is what we're thinking. Is this going to work globally? Or here's your handoff. We're going to show you how to use this, and we want you to be the one interacting with partners. So I think, if anything, it makes us stronger regionally. So Phil, you can now toot your own horn.
No, thank you. I think it's building off what Claudia was saying as well, is that there is managed services and there's platforms, and a lot of the platforms are centrally managed and centrally developed. And I think we are on the managed service side of things. So we've done rather than investing in platforms, we've invested in offices and culturals in key locations around the world. So that's where, we're in this marketplace because we realize that the platforms from the likes of Gary and Mike are really important to delivering into the channel, but they actually need our managed services in locality to actually culturally deliver them into market. So that's where I think the whole marketplace delivers the benefits for each of us in that particular vein.
I think we have time for one more question, and this one is an interesting one. Is how does the marketplace, how do we overcome the barrier or the issue of work, trying to get companies to work with the marketplace when they've worked with local providers and companies that they have established relationships with? And from my perspective is that we're not here to disrupt. Obviously, we want to, each of our companies in the marketplace wants to win business and service new customers, but this is still about customer choice. And we're here to aid the customer, not to confuse them. And if they're happy with their current provider, they can stay with their current providers. If they want to augment their current provider with someone in the marketplace, they can do that too. That's not the point. We're not trying to push our members onto customers. We're here to give choice and better information. All right. Joel, I think we're about at our time. Again, I mentioned at the beginning, I don't think we made it clear enough that the vision that started this marketplace was Joel's. I'm sorry, James's. Why do I keep doing that? You know what it is? I'm tired from the time difference with Joel. But James, you're the one who actually had this original vision that we've collectively brought into reality. Your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, other than it's great to be here on this stage of the journey now with being at launch and the beginning of this next stage. I think it's really all about the realization that we're better together, and that's true in life in general. With the team we've put together, with the people we're going to meet along the way. And as Larry said, this isn't about rip and replace or pushing you to make decisions or buy everything from us. It's about having the right go-to knowledge, experience, know-how to collaborate, to find the optimizations, to plug the gaps, to change the strategy, to work with you as partners, as collaborators, as we have been doing every day in our private businesses. But by putting it together, by strengthening all the connection points between the companies and to embracing, the market in general, I think we have a great opportunity. And we're looking forward to sharing the specifics of this with those of you who are interested, and you see where we can take it, because this is just the start.
Yeah, and I can say that that we're looking forward to being able to provide our clients with a resource that they can see for themselves and evaluate companies for themselves with an independent bias that we have come together to provide that guidance that they're always looking for and always need. So I invite everyone watching Thank you first for attending our launch webinar. We truly appreciate your interest and your support. We invite you to try out the marketplace, give it a look, give us your feedback, and especially try the concierge service. That is there for all of you. So thank you again for joining us. We're looking forward to serving you.